Hello everyone and welcome back. It is Memorial Day. It is my last day to get things done, but the sun is shining. There's literally not a cloud in the sky. And the breeze is actually working in my favor to keep me cool because I have been outside since 8 a.m. trying to till this area for my cut flower garden. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Kristy. I'm located in Massachusetts, Zone 6A, with an average last frost date of May 15th. And I need to get this bed prepped and ready to go. I had some setbacks. I actually totally forgot when we were making our play structure, we put weed barrier, and I wasn't planning on putting my flower bed up against the wood to the play structure. So I was pulling along trying to get all this weed barrier out. And over here we also had some trees removed and we had them just use a stump grinder. So I have been just plugging away and getting all of the extra grounded up wood out so I can get my 50-50 mix into these beds and then amend them with some worm castings. And then I also have some bone meal and some alfalfa that I will be adding in. I will be planting all of my cut flowers over here, so that will be my zinnias, my dahlias. I do have another spot over by my vegetable garden that gets sun literally from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. where I'll be putting some of my bigger dahlias over there. So we have a lot to do. I really want to get everything in the ground by next weekend so we can get this cut flower stand up and running come mid-summer. So I've already been tilling over here. I will be re-tilling the spot that I did back in April. So probably rewind really quick, show you what I did in April where I was sweating it out and doing the same thing, and I got a good chunk done. So let's take a look at what I did back in April and then we'll hop back here. All right, today is now Friday. We are on day 5 of April break. And I'm coming to you in the greenhouse because we are getting our sprinkler systems put in and the machine's super loud. But today is finally tilling the area where I want to have my cut flower garden. So that will be for my dahlias and zinnias and any other kind of filler flower. I'm not even sure what else I have, to be honest, but it's going to be a huge, huge area. So today is tilling and trying to finish moving the 50-50 mix. I will just be amending and mixing it with the soil. I'm actually like super surprised how good the soil is underneath all of the wood chips. We had a ton of trees cut down over there. And what else do we have? A lot of rocks still, a lot of rocks. So I'm going to be raking out the rocks, adding the 50-50, and hopefully I want to finish that today because Saturday it is supposed to rain all day. So I wanted to settle and see how it does with puddling. Drainage is actually really bad over there. We're trying to work on that. Luckily I have another month or two to figure that out, but we just want to see how drainage will be after a rainstorm, and hopefully if I add more soil and do like more of a mound, it will drain a little bit better. So fingers crossed, and yeah, lots of work and some time lapses to go. We are back to working on the cut flower bed, and I'm taking a break in the shade because it's actually getting warm out. By warm I mean like 75 degrees, but warm to keep working in. But I wanted to show you my update. I've kind of hit a little bit of a obstacle because I forgot we had trees cut down here last year, and instead of having the stumps completely removed by, you know, dragging them out of the ground, we had them use a stump grinder, so stump partially gone. That way it wouldn't be sticking out for anyone to trip on or be an eyesore. And because of that, it is just a old pile of mulch, so to speak. And where I am tilling, I have been stuck there for over an hour because I'm just fluffing up some mulch and trying to remove it and dumping it into the woods right now. So I haven't really gotten too far. So I'm just gonna show you my progress. So initially I wanted to start right there on that second post, but we still have some beams. I'm actually going to repurpose those 4x4s and cut them into stakes just to help support the dahlias. I'm gonna put some twine, and I figured instead of buying some more T-posts, we could just repurpose them. So I started here on this third post, and I've gotten 1, 2, 30 feet. And this area is not too big. It is 4 feet wide. However, it's just so much mulch, and we're getting our irrigation put in, and it's bringing up all these roots to get the irrigation. And oh, look at that, here's my new faucet, so that's the good part. But anyways, so I did 30 feet 4 feet out, and I left myself 1 foot from the fence line so I could just tuck myself back in there to reach. And then we will go to this big tree right here, and then we're going to L out to cut right in front of the playground. And we're still collecting rocks, so it's not looking too bad. I am going to add my 50-50 mix, which is kind of drying out, but it's going to rain. So this is where the stump was, and it's just mulch, and it kind of is all the way through. And then I am going to bang right once here, and then we will add a bunch right there, and then we're going to add some rocks for drainage by the playground. So we're back to it, and hopefully after today I can get a break tomorrow with the rain, and then I was hoping to be done by today, but I don't think that's going to happen. So that means we're going to finish this up on Sunday right before we go back to work. And yeah, hopefully we can just wait until next weekend if I have to. So let's go. All right, so today it's just about finishing it. I have a L bend. Up against the play structure, I want to just focus on my greenery. I'm going to be planting some sweet basil there. I have some pennycress over there and a couple of other green fillers. So that way I'm not drawing too many bees over to the playground. And then I'll also have my zinnias over here. So I have celosia. I have a couple of other random things I'll be putting in as well. My Gumfrina will be going up front, as well as my Rebecca. I do have some feverfew actually that I'll be putting over here as well. And then over my perennial garden, I scattered some different, I scattered more feverfew, and then I have just a couple of other random things that I can always pull from. Cosmos are over there. I put them in a spot where I could stake them up against my fence. So we have a lot dispersed throughout the area. I am trying just to use the space that I have. So right now, I am going to finish tilling this area. I got most of the first layer tilled, which was just all of the wood shaving. So I think I made it down to the dirt area. And then I am going to add my 50-50 mix, which is compost and topsoil. And I'm going to try and raise it up if I can and have enough so it's over ground level. It does sometimes have drainage problems right here. If anything, I might come out a foot and put some kind of rocks or something, just so that way it'll drain a little bit better. But I'm hoping since the weed barrier is gone, that will help the area. And yeah, we have a lot to do. I was planning on hoping to get things in the ground today, but I definitely don't think that's gonna happen. So let's just keep chugging along. And for this project, I'm using my Milwaukee cultivator. It's really helping me. It's tearing through all the wood. It kicks back the rocks, the roots, everything. So this has been such a game changer trying to get this done. So again, we're gonna re-till the area so I can hopefully get some more soil into the ground. All right, I am happy to say that we have everything tilled. So this already has the 50-50 mix. I'm gonna add some more, but it's nice, dark, and fluffy. And then you can kind of see the break where I stopped. So I was able to get most of the grounded up wood out. There's still some roots, so I will rake that out. And then this bend is actually really good soil. So I am just going to fill it up with a few inches of my mix. And again, I just have to rake all these. There's still some wood chips here, but other than that, I am thrilled. So this is our stretch, and I know it's shady right now, but I always have to remind myself that the sun changes come the summer. So it will, instead of being here, it's gonna be in this clearing. That's why we knocked those trees down. So hopefully that will help out, but I have a nice little start rate today. And that tumble right there is why I should not put so much dirt in it. The kids are having fun. Malin, what are you guys looking for? Worms. So this 50-50 mix has actually been sitting out since April, so a little bit over a month. And it is filled with worms, which is great. So what Malin likes to do is she'll find a worm, and we give Mason a little stick and pretend it's a worm. And she'll make a hole over in the garden beds with our tomatoes or peppers, and then she'll just bury it so all the worms will go over to the garden, which is perfect. So I much rather that than have them over here with the flowers to be with the vegetables, to get some good microorganisms over there. So yeah, so it's a lot of work, but it's gonna look great in the end. And I'm still waiting for the sun to hit. I know that since it's late May, the sun is going to shift come late June. This gets so much sun from June to September. And then once the days start getting shorter again, it'll go back behind these tall pine trees. So even though I'm a little nervous right now, before planting out, I know it'll work out in the end. So I'm gonna keep on chugging. Guess what? We're done. We are done tilling and putting my 50-50 mix in and laying everything out and moving dead wood and eating bugs and sweating it out. I am finally done with my cut flower area. I am beyond thrilled. So I started back in April when I had my vacation, and it is now Memorial Day, and I cannot believe I am finally done. So it got so dang hot outside. But I was able to do it. I was gonna stop and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna work in my vegetable garden because it's pretty much in the shade right now. And I was like, heck with it, I just need to keep going and powering through. So we started today around 8 o'clock, I wanna say, 8:30, and it's now 2:15. I mean, obviously I took lots of breaks with the kids. You know, we went inside for lunch. I had to put my little one down, but I managed to get it all done. And now, since it's only 2:15 or so, I'm like, should I start planting to get them in the ground as well, or should I just try and do it at night every day I get home from work? But I have so much. I have my dahlias that I have woken up from Costco. I have a lot that I have seed started myself. Not only do I have my dahlias I have to get in, but I have tons of zinnias. I have celosia. I still have some feverfew to get in, lavender. I have what else do I have? Some more basil that I want to get in. I started some sweet basil so I could use that as a filler. I have all my pennycress I need to get in. So I'm like, do I just keep going at it in the sun? I have work tomorrow, and it's actually a planting day. The kids are planting a bunch of stuff in the garden, so it's like, do I want to keep going or do I want to work? I don't even know. Do I want to work in the vegetable garden? I probably will end up taking a quick break, watering some more of my tomatoes over there, and then probably get at it. So if you see another video and I look like this, a hot mess, you know, then I just kept going for it, which probably will happen. But anyways, thanks for staying tuned. If you want to stay updated and see how this cut flower garden evolves, and as you can see, the sun finally hit. I was like, I remember this being a desert over there. That's why there is no grass, because it gets so much sun. I was originally gonna put my vegetable garden over here actually, and it just didn't work out. So we ended up putting it over there since we took the deck down. Anyways, go ahead and click like and subscribe and hit that bell button. We have so much more going on. I still have to paint my flower stand. Yeah, lots of things to do, and happy gardening. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.